Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, and it's the 8th of March 2022. Today's video is going to consist of three parts. The first one is going to be the industry news and updates. The second one is going to be technical analysis of the VXN and Nasdaq. The third one is going to be technical analysis of all our genomic stocks that we have in our watch list. Let's get started. The very first news article I have comes from the Intellia website. It's their press release. Intellia Therapeutics statement on recent US patent and trademark office decision regarding CRISPR-Cas9 genome editing technology in eukaryotic cells. So the point which I would like to focus on in this press release is Intellia has an exclusive license to use CVC's CRISPR-Cas9 IP estate for the development and commercialization of human therapeutics, with the exception of antibacterial and antifungal applications. Additionally, Intellia has filed numerous patent applications covering its own CRISPR-Cas9 technological innovations, delivery applications, and product candidates. None of Intellia's own patent applications are involved or impacted by the interference between the CVC and Broad Institute, which only pertain to a subset of the in-licensed CVC CRISPR-Cas9 estate, IP estate. So this is the key point. So basically Intellia is coming out and saying, okay, it's true that we have our CRISPR license coming from CVC, but it's not as bad as the market thinks, and the share prices need not fall so hard. So that's the basic news I have got from here. I put the link in the description, so you can go and have a look at it and read the entire article. I don't see any point me reading the article out here and wasting your time. So let's go on to the next news article that I have for you today. The next news article comes from Seeking Alpha. I think this is an excellent website. Those of you who are interested in more details about shares of all kinds, Seeking Alpha is a good resource. Some of the articles are really excellent and thought-provoking. In this particular article, what they are talking about is that Intellia has got an upgrade at Brooklyn amid unchanged patent risk on CRISPR-Cas9 technology. So this is again an affirmation of what we saw in the press release from Intellia. And it says that the analyst added that patents and litigations around patents remain an important component for companies working to develop CRISPR-based therapeutics, but the analyst believes these disputes will continue in the courts and does not anticipate any defining litigation or resolution until a CRISPR-based technology is FDA approved and marketed, adding that she anticipates Intellia could launch its first drug, NTLA 2001, in 2025. So that's quite a long way out. This is the essence of this entire article. So basically it says that Intellia is good, you can invest. So those are the two news articles that I wanted to highlight today. There are a few more that I have looked at which warrant a separate video on themselves, and I'm working on those, and I'll have them out to you either later today or maybe tomorrow or at the weekend, depending on how soon I'm able to get through them. But that's it. Now let's go on and have a look at what's happening with the VXN and the Nasdaq. It's around 9:45 a.m. The market has opened. It's around 15 minutes into the market. Let's get started with that analysis. So here we see the one-year VXN chart, which we are all familiar with right now. Yesterday, we crossed over a resistance which became a key support, and that is this particular green line out here, which stands at 38.27, and that is acting as a support today for the VXN. So we came down, we opened up and we came down, and then we went back up again. So we are right now at 38.91 for the VXN, and my feed is delayed feed. I'm working on getting a live feed shortly, but right now, if we look at the Nasdaq, it's at 12812.79. So we have predictably gone below this green line that I have drawn, which was based on the previous slope. So I'm going to take that off. It doesn't make any sense anymore. We are below 3 support lines on Nasdaq, so I'm going to mark them all to be resistances. So there you go. Our MACD is bearish and our momentum is flat and below average. So it's not looking great. But as some of our subscribers pointed out in the comments, I do believe that there could be a dead cat bounce today, which means that some participants might feel that the bottom has been reached. And legitimately so, because there are many companies which are trading at the lowest valuations they have been in their lifetimes. And there are some really big companies also which are in that category. Companies like Facebook, companies like Google, Amazon, they are all trading at a very low price, historically low price that they have not been at since their inception. PayPal also comes to mind. So it's likely that many participants are going to feel that probably the bottom is out there and they may buy. But I don't think the capitulation has happened yet, because there is a rotation among sectors which has delayed the capitulation as per my previous videos. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But if there's any green today, it's likely to be short-lived and it's likely to be a dead cat bounce, in my opinion. So let's see if we go a bit green or not today. So that's what I have for Nasdaq and VXN. And regarding VXN, yesterday I posted a separate video. It's a very short video. If you have not had a look at it, please have a look. There I have given my theories on why I think that VXN may go down further and how low it can go, and also how low Nasdaq can potentially go. Please watch that video and put your comments. It will be really interesting to have your point of view. So let's get started with looking at the biotech genomics shares. So here we have our biotech shares. Let us do a quick sort to see what is on top. Vertex is on top today, and we are still maintaining our support at 236.29. The MACD is turning bullish and the momentum is picking up slightly, but I suspect that all this is going to be a dead cat bounce, as many of our, a few of our subscribers have also suggested. At this point of time, it's likely that some of the market participants might feel that the prices can't go any further down, and it's time to start buying and dollar cost averaging. But I think that's a legitimate thought process, because you have big companies like Google, PayPal, Amazon. These are big companies which are at their almost historical low pricing when compared to their PEs valuation. They're at the extreme low valuation that they have never been in their lifetime. So there is definitely going to be an uptick. So there could be a dead cat bounce, but in my mind, I have not seen any change in any of the risks that we have seen in the market. There is no change in the Ukraine-Russia situation. We don't know it's going to get worse or better. If it gets better intraday, then we can see a reason for a slight improvement. If it doesn't get better, then there was no reason in the first place. Interest rate hike is still going to happen, 0.25%. The inflation is still there, and we are going to get some very important economic readings on Wednesday, and that's what can give us any basis for moving either up or down. So technically, everything should remain flat at this point of time for the lack of a catalyst. So any movement down or up is just going to revise itself, because it's without any logic, and it's just volatility at play. So that's what I would say. So Vertex is most likely to end up red today. CRISPR is down, is up 0.14%, and it's struggling to hold on to the support at 53.44. Right now we are at 55.35. So this is our support here at 53.44. We are in a long-term chart where each candle is 1 day, and our MACD is looking bearish. The momentum is below average and flat. So there is no positive catalyst for CRISPR right now. Caribou is down minus 0.66%, and the MACD is bearish. The momentum is below average and bearish, and we are below all the 4 exponential moving averages. So Caribou Biosciences is not likely to end up positive today. It may end up either flat or negative. Intelia is down minus 0.49%, and we are below. We are out of our bearish channel, and we have fallen further below, and our immediate support right now happens to be this green line, which is at 60.88. And the next support is at 56.47, which is the second green line. Our MACD is absolutely bearish, and the distance between the MACD and the signal line is widening in a bearish manner, as can be seen by those histograms. And the momentum is trying to fall off the charts. So things are looking very bad for Intelia, despite the press release and all the positive reviews from Brooklyn. Regeneron is down 1.06%. It's continuing to consolidate sideways, and we are still on the at 612.04, which is right on top of this red line out here, which is at 610.88, which was earlier support and which has now become a resistance. So I'm not going to change the color of this because we want to see where the price ends at the end of the day. So any negative is also not justified, any positive is also not justified. So for most of these stocks which have gone extreme negative, I'll expect them to tend towards being flat. And for those which have gone green, I will expect them to come back towards being flat, because there is no justification for any movement out here. So that's what I would talk about for all the shares, including Regeneron. ARCG is continuing to go down on the bearish channel downward. And my next hope of support is this diagonal green line, which has supported us earlier than 25th of March 2021. It has been with us for a very long time. So I hope that holds on for us. The MACD is bearish and the momentum is falling, indicating further loss for ARCG. Editas is down minus 1.31%, and it's still on the bearish downward channel. And our next support happens to be at 15.37. Currently, we are at 15.82. And by all means, it seems that we might test the support, because the MACD, even though it is bullish, is trending towards the signal line, and the momentum is below average and further falling. Allogene is down 1.12%. We are out of the bearish channel, falling down further. Now this is plumbing new depths that we have never seen before for Allogene. The MACD is also bearish and the momentum is almost non-existent. So bad things are on store for Allogene. But as I mentioned, there is no rationale for falling down further. So it has to end up flat, and we have to reach capitulation sometime sooner rather than later for most stocks, if not all. PFE is down 2.2%. It is still in our bearish downward channel and projected to keep on falling down, getting support only at 45.52, which is the next support line. MACD is bullish, but it is tending towards the signal line, and the momentum is below average and falling further. So Pfizer doesn't get any respite today. And we have PACB down 1.68%. The MACD is falling, and it's going to cross over to the beyond the signal line into the bearish side. Momentum is below average and falling further. PACB also has pain in store. Bluebird is down 1.91%, and MACD is flat. MACD is bearish, and the momentum is flat and below historical levels. So the only thing that can happen for Bluebird is to go up to being zero or flat. So there could be a good dead cat bones case for Bluebird. Verve is down 1.74%, again consolidating sideways, but on a bearish manner. MACD is down to the bearish side, and the momentum is below average and is continuing to fall. There is no justification to go down so much, so there could be a slight movement towards being flat, towards zero. So Verve can have a dead cat bones. Teladoc is down 1.02%, and the diagonal green line, which has been a support so far, is the only hope I have, along with 54.58, which is the horizontal support that I plotted yesterday. MACD is bearish, momentum is below average and falling, so Teladoc can fall further, but that doesn't have a basis, so it has to dead cat bounce. Illumina is down minus 2.6%. And our next support is going to be 286.31. Right now we are at 309 with a bullish MACD, which is tending towards the signal line and on the verge of breaking into being bearish on the other side of the signal line. MACD is below average and rapidly falling. Beam is down 1.97%, and our diagonal line, green line, is going to be the next support for Beam. The MACD is bearish and the momentum is continuing to fall down, and it's below average, so more pain in store for Beam. Of course, again, without logic, so Beam should have a dead cat bounce anytime now, given that it's on the right side of the IP battle. IMTX is down minus 3.31%. I don't know how much more it can fall. It should have capitulated by now. MACD is bearish and momentum is non-existent. So things are looking really bad for IMTX. Again, a good case for a dead cat bounce. Novartis is down minus 4.93%. And those of you who are holding Novartis, at least you have a dividend coming in today of $2.18. So that's a respite for you. I wouldn't cry about Novartis. It will always bounce back with the market. And that's about all I have for you guys today. So again, I would repeat that there is no reason for the market to move any side because none of the risks have resolved and there's been no positive or negative catalyst. So anything that happens today on the positive has to come back to the flat side. Anything happening on the negative has to come back to the flat side. So that's the kind of movement I would expect in the market by the end of the day. And we have important news coming up on Wednesday, economic news. So we'll wait for that and see what happens. And I think Vertex is likely to report somewhere this week. So we'll look forward to that. So that's about it from me, my friends. And please put a like on the video so that others can see this channel and start watching our videos. And if you have been here for a while, please subscribe if you have not done so. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Everything about CRISPR out here, including short features on CRISPR stock and CRISPR industry news. So that's about it. Have a great day. See you either later today or tomorrow. Bye for now.